Today we're going to look at this nifty lock-on technology that the real Sega Genesis had that I implemented into the Genesis Plus GX core with an HMOD for lock-on technology. There's a few things you could do with this that were really cool. I'm just going to load Sonic the Hedgehog 2 just to show you what I mean here. I'm loading it normally. We're going to look at the title screen here. It's just Sonic the Hedgehog 2. But now I'm going to go into my RetroArch settings. Quick menu. Options. And there's a lot more in the newer Genesis Plus GX that I updated to. And we have cartridge lock-on. There's a few things that I put in here that you can play around with. We're going to go to Sonic and Knuckles. And this is like having a real Sonic and Knuckles cartridge and attaching Sonic the Hedgehog 2 to it. So we have that enabled right now. And we're going to do a restart of here. And watch the title screen. Now we have Knuckles and Sonic the Hedgehog 2 combined. Cool, huh? Now we're going to go back to the main menu. And I realized there's actually combined versions of Sonic 1, 2, and 3, like so. They're already combined where you do not need to use this lock-on feature, but for authenticity purposes, it's kind of cool to be able to do this like the old days. And just like you collect a cartridge, there's another thing that's pretty fun to do too. I'm going to load Sonic the Hedgehog 1. And this is what happens if you load a game that's smaller than 2 megabytes. You get the no way, but you can hold all 3 buttons down on the controller, A, B, C, and you get bonus levels. Just like that. Cool. Now I'm going to go into my quick menu settings again, options, and I'm going to change it to the Game Genie. And then I'm going to restart. Now I have the cool as hell Game Genie. I mean, I realized you could use Hackshi to do this. You could use the HMOD to do it, but it's cool to have the authentic Game Genie interface. And we're gonna put in a Sonic the Hedgehog code and see if it works. We have we got to put in a master code, obviously. There's another thing that's kind of cool you could do with the lock-on thing that people have not always seen, and it works particularly well on here. If you put a game that's 2 megabyte large or more, it'll actually load into Sonic and Knuckles. Because technically, the HMOD I put together, the BIOS necessary to run this is partially the Sonic and Knuckles ROM. So it's kind of funny. So I'm going to enable Super Jump on here. And it is kind of cool, and you don't even have to worry about destroying the pins on your cartridges or the pins on your NES system. I'm going to see if I can get this running on the NES core as well, because it would be cool to be able to pull up a Game Genie and put it in the codes like so. So we have the master code, which is ATBTAA32. You always need the master code. Then I'm throwing in the Super Jump code. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we have the code active when we push start. We have Super Jump. Success with the Game Genie. So with this lock-on ability and the options here, we can do the Game Genie for Genesis games. I don't use the Action Replay, but I put it in there just to have the completion. You could have Sonic and Knuckles, and you could lock on to Sonic 1, 2, and 3. And 2 and 3 play fine. And then you just have the bonus games by holding A, B, and C down for Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Now we're going to leave it on Sonic and Knuckles, and we're going to load a game that's over 2 megabytes in size, uncompressed, and we're going to see what happens. We have one of my personal Ninja Gaiden style games Gargoyles. And we're loading it with the Sonic and Knuckles lock-on here. Oh no, it didn't load Gargoyles, it loaded Sonic and Knuckles instead. That's what happens if you put in a game that's more than 2 megabytes in size. So we're going to disable that. It's disabled and we're going to restart, and as the last part of this video, you're going to see one of my favorite Genesis games that I really think didn't get the attention it deserved. It is an excellent, excellent game. Came out roughly around the time that the Vector Man games came out, and almost near the end of the life cycle of the Genesis, but it really is a top-notch game, and it must be played. Notice that I got the NTSC warning. I just made it to auto so it would detect this game. I mean, this game's got awesome music, awesome animation. It's just a game that really didn't get the attention it deserved. Plays a little bit like a Sunsoft Batman-style game, Ninja Gaiden. It's just a top-notch game, and it's a true diamond in the rough as far as games are concerned. Look at this game. It's awesome. And it gets really, really cool when you get into the later levels. You're going on the subway in New York and doing some really cool stuff. Crashing through windows, superhero style. But like Vector Man, this is one of the last games that came out for the system, and, you know, before Nintendo 64 came out and all that. You even have that double jump here. So anyways, this is Gargoyles for Genesis Mega Drive. I would highly recommend playing this game if you love Ninja Gaiden style actioners. It's just a top-notch game. And I'd give this a good solid 8 or 9 out of 10. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and